The voices we learn to hear. Starting today, we are not only improving our listening skills, but also learning a story that will inspire us. This is not a story about perfect children or perfect parents. It is a story about listening, real listening, and about the quiet wisdom that often reaches us through the voices of our parents. When Lena was young, she believed that listening meant being silent. She thought it was about sitting still, nodding her head, and waiting for her turn to speak. But as she grew older, she learned that listening was much more than that. Lena lived in a small apartment filled with familiar sounds. The ticking of the clock in the living room. The soft hum of the television in the evening. And most of all, the voice of her mother, steady and warm, calling her name. Be careful, her mother would say. Think before you decide. Life is not a race.
Starting today, we are not only improving our listening skills, but also
Lena heard these words every day, but she rarely listened to them. Like many teenagers, Lena felt that the world was moving faster than her parents understood. She believed they lived in the past, while she lived in the present. Their advice felt old. Their worries felt unnecessary. Their rules felt heavy. Her father often sat by the window in the late afternoon, holding a cup of tea. When Lena passed by, he would look up and say, "Sit with me for a moment." "I'm busy," Lena would reply. There was always something more important: homework, messages, plans, dreams waiting to happen. Days passed. Weeks passed. And slowly, without noticing, Lena stopped hearing the small pauses in her parents' voices, the pauses filled with care. Lena heard these words every day. One evening, Lena came home upset. She had failed an exam she believed she would pass easily. Her confidence cracked, and her pride fell silent. She entered the kitchen quietly. Her mother looked at her and knew immediately that something was wrong. Parents often know, even when nothing is said. Her mother did not ask questions. She did not give advice. She simply said, "Sit. Eat first." They ate in silence. It was not an uncomfortable silence. It was the kind that holds space for feelings. After a while, her mother spoke softly. "Failure does not mean the end. It means you are learning where to begin again." Lena wanted to disagree. She wanted to say that things were different now, that pressure was heavier, that expectations were higher. But for the first time, she stayed quiet, not to avoid the conversation, but to understand it. Later that night, her father knocked on her door. He did not enter. One evening, Lena He just stood there and said, "Tomorrow will come. And you will meet it stronger than today." That night, Lena lay awake, thinking. Her parents' words returned to her, not as commands, but as gentle reminders. She remembered all the times she had ignored them. All the advice she had rushed past. All the moments she thought listening meant losing her freedom. But she was wrong. Listening did not mean obedience. It meant respect. It meant trust. It meant allowing experience to speak. Years later, Lena faced a difficult decision. She had to choose between an easy path and a meaningful one. Fear whispered loudly. Doubt followed closely behind. She almost chose the easier way. Then she heard her father's voice in her mind. Choose what will help you sleep peacefully at night. She heard her mother's words too. Life is not a race. He just stood there and said, "Tomorrow will come." Lena paused. She chose the harder path. It was not perfect. She made mistakes. She fell and stood up again. But each time she felt lost, she listened, not only to her parents' voices, but to the values they had planted inside her. One day, Lena found herself sitting by a window, holding a cup of tea. A younger voice passed by in a hurry. "Sit with me for a moment," she said. The circle was complete. Listening to our parents does not mean they are always right. It means they speak from a place shaped by love, mistakes, and experience. And one day, we realize that their voices were never meant to control us. Only to guide us until we learn to guide ourselves. So today, as you listen to this story, remember. Every voice that cares about you is a gift. And every moment you choose to truly listen, you grow wiser than you were before.